Good morning and welcome to Saturday special of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. We used to read that the Chinese is the oldest civilization. Incas are the oldest one, and India was immediately following them. The new research shows that, as a matter of fact, the Indian civilization was much older. And not only it was older, it was much more pervasive. Chinese civilization remained confined within the walls of China. Incas remained confined to Peru, Mexico part, Argentina, and so on, Latin America. But Indian civilization, and I'm particularly saying Indian civilization, not Hindu civilization, so that I do not hassle up those people who are allergic to the word Hindu, but then Indian and Hindu are synonyms. So the Indian culture's impact was felt all over the globe, barring parts of Africa and parts of Europe. I've seen remnants of Indian culture in Latin America. I've seen in Kazakhstan. I've seen in Ukraine. I've seen in Russia, in Far East. Indonesia, the largest Muslim country in the world, has Indian culture inherent in that. I've seen it in Far East as well. But then the connectivity between South Korea and India has been there. People have been aware. They have been talking about the old age connections. But then it is much deeper and yet it's not well known. This interaction makes a very interesting story. You have seen that symbol of the twin fish. Now, when I went to South Korea for the first time, they presented me with a fan having two fish. One was blue, the other was red. And I displayed it in my living room. We enjoyed it. And then I realized that this twin fish symbol, typical of South Korea, which is almost a state emblem of South Korea, is also the state emblem of the province of Uttar Pradesh in India. And Uttar Pradesh, we cannot deny, has been the home of Hindu culture. And this twin fish symbol is found on the ancient buildings of Ayodhya. You would be amazed that the same two fish symbol which adorns the state emblem of Uttar Pradesh is also the most acceptable, common and desirable, positive symbol in South Korea. As a matter of fact, this symbol suggests a clue to the link and route undertaken by the royals of Korea called Kea and Japan onwards. Now, if you read Atharvaveda, they say Ayurveda is a city built by gods and prosperous as the paradise itself. When we talk of South Korea, people think of LG, Hyundai, Samsung making the presence felt in India. But it was 48th century after Christ that Queen Soro, who is also called Princess Yu Hwang Oke, she made a journey from Ayodhya to Korea. Now this is interesting. We have always been thinking that Indians are not a seafaring nation, but they were a seafaring nation, traveled all the way up to Latin America. But here, in a province, in a place which was land-bound, no connectivity to sea, this princess undertook a journey from Ayodhya to Korea by sea. And she was carrying a stone. The legend is that there was a storm. And what she did, she placed that stone in the water, didn't drop it. She just placed it, and as soon as the water touched the stone, it became calm. The storm subsided. Now, the stone is not feared anywhere in Korea, but it is a crucial evidence that the princess belonged to the city of Ayodhya. This stone is only found in India, and from there, the city archaeologist of Kimhe. Kimhe is a industrial township near the city of Busan. Now, he said that this stone, they are preserving part of that, is found only in India, so naturally it came over there. And the people of Kimhe were so fascinated by these links that they started research on this several years ago. Then, they ran into the symbol of Kaya kingdom with two fish kissing each other. I have referred to that earlier. And that is similar to the royal family of Ayodhya. Ayodhya's royal family was Mishras, and they had this symbol. And the same symbol was adopted later on by Govind Ballabh Pant when he became the chief minister, the first premier of UP. And in the Buddhist city of Kimle, the fact that Ayodhya has now become the epicenter of religious divide at one time, luckily it's subsided now. So those had a very upsetting time when there was confusion before the Supreme Court judgment. There were news that those people were agitating that why Ayodhya should be desecrated. Now, this princess is said to have given birth to 10 children, and that marked the beginning of powerful dynasty at Kimhe Kims. I'll refer to another dynasty also, which has connectivity to India. Now, Kimhe Dae-jung, the former president, belonged to the same family. This cultural heritage did not stay in one place. As a matter of fact, this journey of the princess from Ayodhya to Korea was the start of commercial exchange that has been on since the queen came. Now, as a matter of fact, if you read, the Queen Soro gave Kim dynasty a powerful family name. A professor emeritus at Hanguk University says that there is a genetic connection with Ayodhya. Now, when the scholars who are believed to be doubting Thomases, they don't accept things on the face value. And he writes in his book that I share my genes with the royal family of Ayodhya. Travelers from both these countries are not just traded goods, but also genes. And I hail from Kara dynasty, whose first woman was the princess of Ayodhya, who married the first king Kara. So, I am genetically connected to the holy city. Now, imagine that there was a 3-day visit by this archaeologist to Ayodhya, and he prepared a slide of presentation on the historical evidence. The queen of Korea's biggest dynasty, Ho, was the daughter of Ayodhya, the king of Ayodhya. And she traveled by sea route, married King Soro, and he was the first king of the entire Kara land. And the 2/3 of the population of Korea are the descendants of King Soro. Now, that being so, 2/3 population of Korea is genetically descended from an Ayodhya princess. And the twin fish symbol originally is not Indian. It came from Mediterranean, traveled to Korea via Uttar Pradesh. And it can be seen not only there, but it can be seen in Nepal, Pakistan, China, Japan. And it is also on the gate of the royal tomb of King Soro. This king was in the 48 AD, just 50 years after Christ. And at that time they had this symbol. So 6 years ago, what happened? The Korean government declared Ayodhya as a sister city of Korea. The whole country and one city, they became sister. Normally it's town to town, but they practically coerced, forced Uttar Pradesh government to open up the doors for strengthening the cultural relations. So this is something amazing that South Koreans were more proactive than the UP government. Ultimately, Ayodhya Shodh Sansthan director Singh said that we'll be happy to collaborate with you. Now, pairs of this fish symbol, which is like a carp, they often appear on many castles in that, and then people realize the identity. Now, this symbol stands for well being, happiness, and freedom. And now, interestingly, it is one of the 8 auspicious symbols used in Buddhism. The fish symbolizes in a state of fearlessness, without danger of drowning in the ocean of suffering, and migrating from place to place freely and spontaneously. The fish in the ocean do not need a visa or a passport. In 2018, South Korean First Lady Kim Jong Suk came to Ayodhya. Now they are taking it that level. Ayodhya is the birthplace of Rama. But it has a special significance of South Koreans because, as I said earlier, 2/3 of the South Koreans believe that they came are the descendants of the princess. Now, do you know the name of the princess? It was Princess Suri Ratna. Suri Ratna, when she went to Korea, she changed her name to Hyo Hwang Ok. And the Chinese language text claimed that the king of Ayodhya had a dream, and pursuant to that dream, God ordered him to send his 16-year-old daughter to South Korea. No, it's a Chinese language text, not Sanskrit, not Korean, but a third party, and they say that Princess Suriratna's father had a dream that Korea needed this girl to populate it. And a popular South Korean book comprising fables and historical memories, it is called in Korean language Samguk Yusa, meaning in English memorabilia of 3 kingdoms. And they say that this queen was the princess of Ayutthaya kingdom. Now Ayodhya, possibly they couldn't pronounce it, so they called it Ayutthaya, Ayuta. Now, apart from this Kirk family, this Kim family, the second family is Kirk dynasty. And Kirk dynasty came from Geme. Again, it's a common surname, and King Suro is considered to be the father of the Kim dynasty. And the queen was sad to hear that children could not carry her name Ratna. So King Suro allowed 2 of his sons to take her name Hyo, which is used to this date. The late former South Korean president Kim Young-sam came from the Kirk dynasty. So Kirk dynasty and Hyo dynasty. And they say now that the descendants of this couple, the second one, are more than 6 million, which is roughly 10% of the South Korean population. So 2/3 on one side and 10% the other. It's almost 75% of the population. They say that they have descended from India. And then people from the Kirk dynasty also have rocks, identical to what princes used in the sea war. Is the legend popular in South Korea? The Western scholars couldn't tolerate it that Indian impact was there, especially in Far East, because of the geographical factors. So they said, it's just a legend, it can't be believed, there's no proof. But there's no proof of anything except The stones, then what the South Koreans did, they conducted carbon dating of the stone and the ingredients, and they resemble exactly like the stones of Ayodhya. And then the speculation is that Ayodhya was basically not Ayodhya, it was Thailand, from Thailand. Now they forgot that the Thailand was under the impact of Hinduism, and even today the Ayutthaya kingdom of Thailand was basically connected with the Indian kingdom of Ayodhya. How was this religion impacting the modern ties? Now that's an important question. It's, of course, half a century after Christ is starting. They are emotional ties. And that's why the agreement between Ayodhya and South Korea and Gime, the city where Queen Suloratna first came, they have so deep ties that the North Korean ambassador, now not only South Korea, but North Korean ambassador to India, along with 100 historians, came to India in 2001. He unveiled Queen Hwang Ok's memorial. Would you believe it? On the west bank of River Saryu. Now, River Saryu is the place where Lakshman had immersed himself to die. It's in Ayodhya. So, River Saryu, and they say the Queen Sri Ratna was basically ancestor of Lakshman. So every year, people who claim to be from Queen's lineage now, they come to India to pay tributes to the princess at her motherland. In 2016, a Korean delegation sent a proposal to further develop. But then no action was taken from 2016. But now, with the Ram Mandir coming up, this tie is likely to get strengthened. The most interesting thing is that here is a country which is quite advanced commercially, technologically, but they have so strong an emotional attachment. And I'm amazed that neither the people of India nor the government of India has been proactive. All the proactive approach has come from South Korea, assisted by their arch enemies North Korea, because the families are the same. The present president of North Korea, Kim, he says that he has the genes of Queen Sri Ratna. And in his bedroom, he has this twin fish symbol displayed prominently. He says, first I look at it in the morning, and then he's an agnostic. He doesn't believe in God. So it's not the religion. Symbolism is not a part of religion, it's a part of culture. And we people have to understand that you may not believe in a religion, but you cannot cut away from the cultural roots. They are an essential part of your genes. So Ayodhya and Indian princess Sri Ratna are the connecting links between India and South Korea, maybe even parts of North Korea. It's a pointer to the fact that the glory that was in what Bhasham calls in his book is in fact not a figment of fiction. That Indian impact was there globally. It was cosmopolitan, devoid of religious identity. Let's be very clear. But the cultural impact existed, and it exists today. And doesn't that show at least that the essential brotherhood of man promoted by the Hindu scriptures, the Indian scriptures, that the whole world is a family, stands true. As a matter of fact, this connection between India and South Korea needs to be promoted, researched further, and it can be a new chapter in the history of civilization.